It is finally here, the all-new Renault Captur. Now, is this an oversized Renault Clio? Well, at least that used to be the case for the previous generation. But now something has changed about this Renault Captur. It looks more serious. And I'm going to tell you all my first impression of this Renault Captur. Wow. A serious looking front grille. Look at this, sharp edges everywhere. Just like on the Renault Scenic. A lightning style daytime running light. Now this has to be a cool feature. And actual air vents right here, pretty sporty. Mind you, this is the Alpine trim level, so not surprisingly, you get a rather sporty looking wheel. However, it's not all pink roses. Towards the side, there's no drastic change really. It looks very evolutionary to before. Towards the rear, absolutely no change at all almost. The interior is where the big changes lie. Now, similar to before, it is more driver-centric, so the screen is tilted more towards the driver, just like what I've seen in the Renault Clio. In fact, something about this interior has a lot in common with my experience in the Renault Clio. But the biggest difference is that the screen is massive and they've abandoned the swivel wheel for your climate control. Instead, they have simplified all the controls. How amazing is that? But then to be fair, this is something everybody is obsessing over, simplicity. However, what is awesome and quite exceptional for the Renault Captur is that you get all four windows that are automated. This is something usually a premium car would offer. Look at those seat belts. They're like something you'd expect in a Bugatti. Fancy seat belts with blue touch on the side. Interesting. And you even get the French flag on the side of the seat. And obviously blue stitching with white stitching as well. Wow. Vive la France! I said Vive la France a bit too early because look at the steering wheel. You get the French stitching on it. How cute is that? And the steering wheel is really nice to hold on to. It's a bit on the thick side, but it's squidgy, which is good. Ease of entrance for backseat passengers because this is a Renault Captur. But when sitting inside, it feels like a Renault Clio with slight improvements, really. However, there is a problem. You don't get any handle up here or anywhere to help yourself climb in. That's pretty alarming. But at this area, I spotted a bit of a problem. The first problem I'd like to point out is that you get this bit of trim that doesn't seem to have a purpose at all, but it looks like an imitation of an exhaust or something. And then another problem I noticed is that they put the reverse lights all the way down there. It's going to be difficult for certain road users to notice it. A good example being, I'm sitting behind the wheel of this Renault Kangoo, and I'm looking at this Renault Captur in front of me, but I cannot notice it doing a reverse light because I don't see the reverse lights. The reverse lights are hidden by my bonnet. This particular Renault Captur costs 35,000 euros and it is the Alpine trim level, or should I say Alpine trim level. Now over here is the E-Tech hybrid. Basically, this is a hybrid petrol engine that produces 145 horsepower. Now just one little problem I've noticed. I was trying to put the strut away and it took me almost a minute to figure out where it went because there's a little thing right here that holds the strut, but initially I did not know it was there. I was looking all over the blue paintwork and everything. At least the bonnet was light to hold on to. You get parking sensors at the front and at the rear, but you don't get a 360-degree parking camera. Oh well, at least you do get a rear view parking camera. Now, despite it being the Alpine trim level, you don't get any keyless entry for the doors or any special feature. Despite the Alpine trim level and the gorgeous sporty wheels, why do you need to have this hard plastic right here? Like, wouldn't you want to replace it with piano black or something? Now, I would like to cover Practicality solutions. And we will also talk about the infotainment system very soon. So first of all, as Practicality, I would like to talk about those cup holders I see down there. Nice detailing and they are adjustable, which is good. Then ironically, there's a micro storage space right next to the handbrake, and the handbrake is closer to the passenger side, as if it were an afterthought. And then you get this little storage space underneath, under this gear lever right here. And the concept I see right here is very similar to what car manufacturers have for electric cars. So this gear stick would float over everything underneath. And then there's a storage space right here, which I assume would have been your wireless telephone recharge, but there's no indication that this is a wireless telephone recharge. But I see a 12-volt socket and 2 charging ports over there. And there's additional storage space up here. Wow, okay, this is great. I mean, when it comes to practicality, Renault and Nissan tend to be hit or miss. Sometimes they'll have features that are just amazing, and then sometimes they'll have features that are a bit questionable. Glove box. Wow. Okay, this has to be one of the best glove boxes I've ever seen. It's very spacious. Central console storage. Now this is adjustable, this armrest, which is good. And then let's open it. Okay, I opened it with okay, I opened it with a bit of a struggle. Wow, okay, the central console is deep, but it's very narrow. Not much you can fit in there. Not much space. Now, there's just a little problem. The door handle is hard plastic, which is ironic because the steering wheel is nice quality, squidgy. The rest of the interior is coated with good quality materials, including the fabric right here. Then you touch the door handle and you're greeted with plastic. There's something interesting happening. I look up here and I see you don't get any glasses holder. There's no panoramic roof or sunroof or anything. The door bin storage space is good though, and it can fit a big water bottle. There's some bit of trim right here on this side that has absolutely no purpose whatsoever. I'm a bit surprised. Earlier, I had a look at the infotainment system. This is a demo vehicle, so I didn't have a chance to look at it in detail. But from what I saw of it, it uses an Android system, so it's similar to what I've seen of other Renault vehicles. And I have to say, it is great. It was nicely detailed. It's like you're using Google Maps. It's actually like what I saw in the Nissan Qashqai. Check out the back seats in detail. So first thing that greeted me were the cozy seats. They feel like I'm sitting on a couch. It's great. Now, the middle part is fabric, but then as you sit in the middle, or if you look at the middle, it's all leather, and the quality of the leather is quite pleasant. Interesting. All the seats are rather squidgy, which is awesome. And then you get this air vent right here, which is small, but cute at the same time. No climate control, but you don't fully need it for this segment. You get 2 charging ports and a 12-volt socket right here. And that's about it. Otherwise, you get a backseat pocket, which is good. But the most important part would be the room space. So my feet room is a bit limited, but that doesn't really matter. My shin can be very close to the driver's seat and the front passenger seat, depending on their seating adjustments. Otherwise, it should be fine. Knee room is good, but then again, it can depend on the seating adjustments of the driver and front seat passenger. Headroom, excellent. It's flawless. But the headrest is a bit on the firm side, which is ironic because the seats are quite nice. Now let's check out the door bin. Ooh, the door bin is good actually. It's surprisingly better than what I've seen of certain competitors. Now my first impression of the boot space is that it's very similar to my experience with the Renault Clio. In fact, it has a lot in common with the Renault Clio. But then as you look outside, this is like an oversized Renault Clio. There's just a lot of elevation compared to the actual Clio itself. Now, taking a look at the boot space, there's no adjustable floor, or actually there is, but you have to get rid of this spare tire if you want to use it. And I'm saying it judging by the bit of plastic in the corner. And besides that, there's no other feature really. There's no 12-volt socket or any tether point or anything. But then, to be very fair, you're not really getting this car for moving houses. If you want to put luggages in, make sure to do it from the middle, because on the side you have the body paint that sticks out very proudly, and this part is quite sharp, so in long terms it can get scratched easily or even dented. So here's my conclusion of this all-new Renault Captur. For a price of 35,000 euros, I have to say that this Renault Captur is good value for money, but I cannot really go further than that. And the problem is, for its price and segment, some competitors offer more technology, or some cars that have a similar price range offer far more equipment and technology and more practicality solutions. And we're talking about cars from different segments around this price range. But then at the same time, the big question, is this an oversized Renault Clio? Yes, I think it feels like it, because I've noticed something about the back seat and then also about the boot space. It has a lot in common with the Renault Clio from my experience. But then on the other side of the scale, from the exterior, judging by its design, they are going places with the front design. It looks very serious. It looks mature than before. But I can definitely confirm the Alpine trim level says Vive la France, judging by the proud stitching inside. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for more videos that are on the run. I will see you all next time.